All right, good morning, everybody. Welcome to another round of coffee and questions. What's today's topic? Well, we talked about in the last video doing kind of like a side gig or a side hustle to make a little extra money using a wood lathe, bench top. And you didn't need a big lathe like the one that I've got in order to do a lot of interesting projects. So check back on that video. You can see where I showed you pens and vases and vessels and bowls. Lots of things, lots of really good looking things, that you can make. Like I say, take photos, sell them, but a friend of mine that came over, we were at the club, and he thought it was going to be expensive to get into this. Well, once you've bought in the lathe, whether it's Craigslist, eBay, Amazon, I'll leave you the links below. You can go to Harbor Freight, and there's also ones off Amazon. I bought in both sets in the very beginning. So like this is the one you can see, they're really kind of used up here pretty badly. And these are the ones from out at Harbor Freight. So, are they good or are they bad? I'm going to switch inside. I'm going to show you their actual advertisement, and we'll do questions and answers. But in a nutshell, no. You're just going to have to put an edge on them by grinding them more frequently than you would a higher grade, stainless steel, high-speed stainless steel. So these are fine to start off with, and they will definitely do the project, especially once you've learned to sharpen these. And there's a ton of YouTube videos. It's not hard to do. And you keep a super sharp edge on these, they will do everything you want them to do, and you'll make great projects. So let's switch inside and I'll show you the advertisement. Now also I'm going to leave you the links for both Harbor Freight and the ones that I got off Amazon. Now the ones off Amazon I got were a little bit different for a different reason. Let me show you. Okay, now off of Amazon, I got these. These are like parting tools. It's really, you can use them for decoration on the wood turnings, but it's also for actually parting them off in a real thin manner to get them off of the lathe, and then, you can smooth out and level off and flatten the bottoms of things and set them down. So I'll leave you both. Now, the Harbor Freight set, I believe, comes with one of these. It just wasn't really the one that I wanted, and I wanted this one that had more of a diamond kind of a bevel edge, and this is a good one. And this is another one that I got off of there, and it works real good too. So you end up with duplicate tools, which is okay. But I'll leave you the links below to the Amazon. You can go over to Harbor Freight. But we'll look at the ad together right now. Let's go inside. I'll put the ad up. We'll do questions and answers. I'll see you in just a sec. All right, folks, so let's start off by talking about the cheapest set that they have out there, which is this one right here, Windsor Design, Wood Lathe Turning Tool Kit 8-piece. This is not the one that I bought. I figured for 20 bucks, there's no way that this is going to be any good at all. So they have two more sets. So I took a look at the next two. Let me show you. Now here's the next set, and I'm sure that it's a lot better, but it too was not the one that I bought. It's $67.99, 8-piece. Probably nothing wrong with it other than, like I said, you're going to have to sharpen these frequently, because although they're made out of high-speed steel, it's not the highest quality in high-speed steel. But let me show you the set that I bought and that people out at the club bought. Okay, so this is the set that I bought from out at Harbor Freight. Now, I also bought another set that I got off Amazon, and I'll leave you the link below. But I wanted to focus on the Harbor Freight one because everybody complains that these are terrible tools and on and on and on. You just have to realize it's not made out of super high-grade stainless steel, and that you're going to have to sharpen them frequently. But like I said earlier, they will work adequately fine, especially if you're just starting out. So let's do some questions and answers, and let's see if I can answer some questions that the people had on the forum. All right, now one of the complaints is that, hey, the handles don't hold up and they come off from around the ferrule and they come loose and on and on. I'm not saying you should have to do this. I did have one that did that. All I did is I put some epoxy down into the handle. I jammed the tool back down into it. I let it set, never had a problem since, and I showed them to you out in the garage. So there is a fix for something like that. Another common complaint is the handles are way too short. Now, on mine, especially the ones that I use most frequently, I turn my own handles anyway. So you can start off using these, and there are plenty of sources online to buy wood from, whether it's oak or whatever you want to use. And you can actually, it's a fun project, make your own tool handles. And like I said, I showed you some of those in the previous video where I made them much longer, much larger in diameter so that it holds my hands comfortably. And it was a lot of fun, I mean, doing that project, truthfully. So you can make your own turning handles as one of your first projects with it. Okay, now one of the comments is they don't come that sharp out of the box like they say they do. Well, that's true. And I did just do my own resharpening. And yes, you're going to have to sharpen them more frequently. But I mean, it's a good starter set. I mean, and it's 80 bucks. I get it. But with the coupon, I mean, you're going to get it for less. And like I said, just to start off with, it's not that bad of a deal, really. I can just tell you, like I said, it's an inexpensive set all the way around. This is not the same high quality Rockwell hardness steel that you saw like on some of my scrapers that come out of Sheffield, England. I mean, they don't even hold in comparison. They're made out of a much cheaper high-speed steel, and it's just going to require more sharpening. This is what everybody's, banging the table about on the downside. I have a grinder set up. I just walk over, I put an edge on it, I go back to turning, and I go back and forth with it. And yeah, you are going to have to sharpen it more frequently. No way around it. There is a suggestion I'm going to make when it comes to lathe turning tool sets, even Harbor Freights, or the one I'm going to talk to you about in a minute from Amazon. You're not going to always use every single one of these 8 pieces. I mean, you're not. This is just giving you a kind of a variety. And so once you narrow down to saying, well, I'm going to use the gouge more often, and I'm going to use the parting tool, and I'm going to use the bullnose scraper the most, or whatever your liking is when it comes to wood turning, then you can upgrade those particular tools one at a time to a much higher quality one that has a much higher Rockwell hardness. Like I said, the scraper that I have, I use it a lot. And that one I definitely got, and it was very costly, like I said, and I got it from, it's made in Sheffield, England, shipped to the US, resold, whatever. Super high quality, super hard, holds an edge incredibly long. But like I said, this is a good starter set. I mean, that's my comment overall on these. The critique about having to sharpen them frequently, yeah, that's true. Now, one thing I did do on these when I got them is the edges on these are very sharp, even on the long part. And when you put them on the tool rest, as somebody commented, it can actually kind of dig into your tool rest, causing you to have to file the tool rest occasionally. So knowing that ahead of time when I got them home, I put them in a vise and I filed those edges, kind of dulled them off on all 4, sides all the way around on each one of these tools. It didn't take that long. And you can even use one of Harbor Freight's, inexpensive files, to do it with. But then it saves you from damaging the tool rest, which, if you get enough nicks and stuff from this thing, it does affect your wood turning. Well, one thing I'd recommend is definitely, sharpen them before use, even when you buy them new. They are not that sharp. I want to make a comment for safety reasons for a minute. It says that there is no bowl gouge with this set. That's true. It's a spindle gouge, okay? And it's meant for spindle work, like you're going to go ahead and make the handles custom made to your liking, like I said. That's an example of something that you would turn with a spindle gouge. Do not use this to do bowls. It's dangerous, and it can break right where that ferrule is, easily, and cause you a great deal of injury. So don't do it. If you're going to do bowls, buy a bowl gouge, of which none is in any of these sets. Yeah, I know somebody's arguing over the fact, yes, you can use them to do bowls. Well, you can't. That's not what they're meant for, and you're increasing your possibility of injury by using the tool for something other than what it was designed to do. I'm just cautioning you not to do it. It's a great starter set. Like a friend of mine, I go, when he wanted this hobby that we were talking about turning pens and like small things, okay? But he's going to buy the bowl gouge. And other than that, this set is great for pen turning, making pen sleeves and stuff like that, especially, with the benchtop lathe that he's looking at buying. And that's the reason why I suggested this to start off with. But I also suggested to him, make sure you buy a good bowl gouge if you're going to do bowls or vessels. Okay, let's wrap this up and we'll talk about the ones that I bought on Amazon that I think are also a really good beginner set, we'll say. Don't use this set to turn bowls. Buy a bowl gouge, safety reason. Okay, anticipate you're going to get good at sharpening because you are going to have to sharpen these more frequently. No way around it, even after you buy them and get them home. Then, if you have problems with the ferrule or they're slipping in and out of the wood handles, a little bit of epoxy is going to fix that. Like I said, should you have to do it? No, but it's an easy fix. and making your own handles is a lot of fun. All right, now let's move on to the Amazon ad. All right, now this is the other set that I bought, and I think that it holds the edge a lot longer than the Harbor Freight set, okay? But both of them are adequate, like I said. Now this one's $89.99, ships free on Amazon, and it's made out of, the handles are made out of beech, which is a very strong wood. The ferrules, brass ferrules, I think fit on there nice and tightly. I have not had a problem with this set at all. But again, in time, the ones that I most frequently use, I've made my own handles for. Not that it matters, but it does come in a nice case. Let me show you the picture. So for putting them away and so forth, now I made a stand on my lathe where I just set them down into it, but it has a nice blow molded case. I mean, if you want to put the tools away when you're done and put them in your tool chest. So kind of a nice little thing in addition. Now again, we're talking about starter sets, and this gives you a close-up. And like I said before, when you get these, you're not going to use all of these all of the time. Some of them you might not even use at all. Now, there is one in here, I'm trying to think of which one. I think it's the bottom one where you've got the diamond right here to my right. That's something, I already have one of those, and it's kind of like, well, I don't need two of them. So I reground this into another kind of a tool to use in my wood turning. So when you have the one from Harbor Freight, if you get that one and then you end up getting one of these and you have duplicate tools and you say, hey, I'm never going to use this for anything, or if you find, you know, one of the other ones you're not going to use, then go ahead and regrind it, make it into another tool that, well, you will use more often. So that's something else that you can think about doing with these. Now, do I think that this is a better set than Harbor Freight's? Yes. Is it by a long shot? No. But it is a much better set, requiring much less sharpening. And so all the way around, it's a better quality set. But remember, we're talking about beginner sets, so any of these will do, you know, that we've talked about. So those are the ones that I have experience with that I bought. So I hope you find the review, the discussion, I mean, of something of use. It helps to make you decide. From the starter set, if you're going to do bowls, I know I beat this into the ground, but I've heard of people on the forum and everywhere else that have used spindle gouges, things went wrong, and it will hurt you badly. You might get away with it a handful of times or more, but don't be a fool. Get yourself a good bowl gouge. Okay, I'm the Home Handyman. I hope you click subscribe. I hope you keep following me. If you know of a set out there that's better, drop it in the comment below. If you own this set, let me know what you think. I think it's a very nice set. Good starting point. I hope you click subscribe. I hope you keep following me. If you like these videos, let me know, and I'll keep doing more of them. And I thank you, folks. The links are below. I'll see you again soon. Bye-bye.